Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Monday. I am back. I am back. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little nervous. I know I did the Aloha Oracle Friday, but yeah, I got the nerves today. So, don't know why, no idea why, just do. So, today, I had actually expected to be home tomorrow, so I'm going to save this one for tomorrow because I peeked. I just peeked at it now to see, and I think it'll fit better tomorrow than it will today. So, anyways, we're on lesson number 22 of self-love, and the question is, what things make you feel bad, but you find yourself doing them anyway? What things make you feel bad, but you find yourself doing them anyway? There could be a million different things, right? Like totally a million different things that make us feel, I don't know. The one thought that keeps coming to my head is hurt people hurt people. And so again, hurt people, comma, hurt people. So when you're in pain, a lot of times you may lash out. And it's not something you like to do. It makes you feel bad. I mean, you carry this weird cycle of guilt that goes on for everything. So, it gets a little, I don't know, it gets a little fuzzy and confusing, right? So, anyways, I'm sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought. I had a text message come through. But anyways, as you can see, I'm at my dad's house, so I don't actually have everything on me. Good morning, baby sibling. But no, again, what things make you feel bad, but you find yourself doing them anyways? And again, hurt people hurt people. So when you're hurting, a lot of times you'll lash out. You'll find things to be angry about. You may not even realize that you're hurting. It could be some kind of grief that's coming out in some weird, strange way. When we push things down and suppress things, they will come back up. But a lot of people think it's going to happen in some weird, explosive way. A lot of people think it's going to just like poo. But a lot of times it can come out subtly, like you're letting off steam. Like you might complain about things all the time, or maybe you're just feeling bad about yourself, or maybe you're feeling bad about situations, and it's just a whole bunch of different things can come out. So again, hurt people hurt people. But that's one of the things about what things make you feel bad, but you find yourself doing them anyway. So again, that particular thing, hurt people can be a weird cycle and a very painful and hard cycle until you break it. Another one, it could be addiction, alcohol, drugs, food, they all, I mean, you may find enjoyment in the moment, but then eventually they make you feel bad. So you turn back to them to feel good again. And it's just that again starts another bad cycle that you do not want to be on. Cycles can be very, very hard to break. Because first you have to recognize that you're on this hamster wheel of pain. Then you have to figure out, how do I get off without getting hurt? Well, here's the truth. Now, I don't know if this is for everybody, but everybody I've heard that has tried to break a bad cycle, it's going to hurt. But it doesn't hurt always in the worst ways. It hurts because you start to look at all the things that you've done, maybe the people you've hurt, maybe the problems you've caused, whether it's for yourself or other people, and it makes you feel bad, but you have to rise above that. I see a lot of things when I roam around on Twitter, right? And there's always somebody that wants to, or even in social media, there's always somebody that wants to bring up something someone did 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. Even if it's just a year ago, a person can change. And the society we're becoming doesn't seem to allow for that change. They'll say, oh, well, that's an insincere change, or you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know if somebody approached them in their own personal life and said, oh, well, this really didn't make me feel very good. And then they start thinking about their the things that they've done, or the habits that they've created, or, maybe the people they've hurt along the way. We need to stop judging people by their past. If you don't get a good vibe from them, stay away from them. It's okay. That's your choice. But what I'm talking about are all these people that don't know other people and they pass judgment anyway. It's just kind of like, oh, well, so that's another thing that can make people feel bad. Just constantly focusing on the negative. I'm not always the most positive person. I post a lot of positive stuff. I do my best to do that. It doesn't always work well. But one of the reasons I do that is because, it's exactly the self-love lesson today. Good morning, Kelly. So, what things make you feel bad, but you find yourself doing them anyway. A lot of times I post a lot of this consistently positive stuff because I try to keep myself in a good place. I'm in a much better place mental health wise than I've been in my entire life, but that doesn't mean I don't fight a battle. There are days I wake up and it's like, yay. And there are other days I wake up where I have to work to feel like that, yay. And sometimes I just have to stop, take a beat and go, I can't. That's one of the reasons I took last week off. I cannot believe that I did over 2 years worth of shows without taking more than 1 day off or 2 days off at a time. Having those 4 days off, I would have preferred 5, but having those 4 days off was just perfect. It helped me get back I think it helped me get back onto my game, and it's like I said at the beginning of the show, I was super nervous coming back on. I know I did Oracle Friday, but coming back and talking to people about all this stuff, I was kind of like, what if all that was a sham? What if I can't just, fly off the cuff like I normally do? But I'm getting my footing. Okay, so just to recap, what things make you feel bad about yourself and you find them doing anyways? Like I said, I covered hurt people. So when you're in pain, a lot of times you might lash out at people. That can be an ugly cycle. Addiction, again, is an ugly cycle. And if you are an emotional eater or an overeater, that is an addiction. Okay, it's an eating disorder. And I know a lot of people don't think much of it because, well, it's comfort food. Not for everybody. For a lot of people, it's feeding a hole. Other things we might do, we might try to fill our voids with people, right? Because maybe we don't want to focus on what's hurting us or maybe we need that attention or that love or whatever it is. I used to be that way. A lot of my previous relationships were picked just because I needed to feel needed. That doesn't mean I wasn't attracted to them. It just means that I needed to feel needed by somebody. And unfortunately for me, I would try to fix it, right? And you can't fix other people. I had to learn that the hard way this weekend. It got pretty scary for a bit. But I think that's the hardest part is we can't fix other people. The only people we can fix are ourselves. And once we start to understand that, once we learn that, once we grasp that, we realize that, we can be a shoulder, we can be an ear to listen, but we just can't fix other people. Sometimes having that shoulder or someone to listen to you is exactly what one needs. Yeah, so it's like Kelly said. She said that she just said, be so positive, the negative deletes you. Yes, posts of positivity are a great way to build and remind you. They really are. And that's true. Be so positive that it does delete the negative. One of the things, sorry, there's a baby hummingbird out there. That's one thing I love about being at my dad's house. I have this huge window. This is my old bedroom from when I was a kid. It's changed since I was a kid, but there's this cute little, I think it's a baby. Oh, it's looking right at me. Sorry, squirrel. But, when I start to feel myself falling apart or wanting to do things that make me feel bad, I will start really punching myself with positive stuff. I'll start looking around what I'm grateful for. I will name everything in the room. the window, the hummingbird that was on the tree that is now gone, the lights, the computer, the phone, my water, my meds in the morning, all my pens that I travel with in my purse, my little hard drive. Yeah, it's a little USB drive. This is Lola. So, but even my journals, my notebooks, my journals, all these things, I'll just start naming it. And I know that if that doesn't help, I need to turn to somebody, or I just look inward and remind myself that this too shall pass. I think a lot of times we struggle and we do bad things because it feels easier than doing the right thing or doing a good thing. And I don't really necessarily think that we look at it as being bad things. Like with the hurt people. No one, you don't realize you're doing that till after it's done. And that therein is the problem, right? I mean, you don't realize it's doing that. When that usually happens, it means that there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. If you find yourself complaining about everything or just being negative about everything or hating everything you see, it's because there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. And like I said, jumping off that hamster wheel of, this negative cycle is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And I mean that saying, maybe the wheel stops and you step off, but now you got to face all of this stuff. You got to face whatever it is that has traumatized you and hurt you throughout your life and find a way to heal it. Be angry, cry. Don't take it out on other people, but be angry, cry, let someone listen to you, have someone listen to you. If you feel like that's not enough, there's an option of therapy. That is a choice. It's not something I force people into. I have personally enjoyed it and loved it and got a lot of benefit out of it. In fact, I watched the funniest thing this weekend about Gen Xers, and I am a Gen Xer. And they were they were talking about how we were raised by baby boomers, and so and they kind of finished it off with, and mental health when we were growing up was not something we talked about. So they finished it off with saying, Gen Xers are some of the toughest people you meet. So, make one your friend. And then the guy finished it with saying, of course, they'll probably just tell you to fuck off. So, but there's a balance of, I was going to say there's a balance of good and evil. There's a balance of toughness. And I think that's in anybody, but it was just kind of funny how they talked about the Gen Xers, because personally, I know people will say, I don't put labels on things, but when you really stop and something resonates with you and it's someone you don't even know, you really, really kind of get like, wow, we really are like that. We stand out, not always for the best reasons, but I think the reason we stand out is because we're a very unique generation. I mean, we take all the stuff we don't like and we throw it out. And we hang on to the stuff we do like. And I posted it to my Facebook page, but it's the funniest freaking thing I'd seen all week. I could not stop laughing. Just the way this guy was talking and the guy was reacting to what this guy was, what the voiceover was saying. It hit so spot on. Okay. And almost every Gen Xer I know owns Goonies Never Say Die shirt. I have one somewhere. I have no idea where I put it, but it's one of my favorite shirts, and I've had it for years and years and years. In fact, I probably need a new one because it's probably pretty worn out. But I guess the Goonies was our anthem for people my age. But but I mean, and like I said, that's not a knock on any other generation, because I know two people who fall into the generations before me and after me that are watching this. So and it's certainly not a knock on that, but I think the way they put it is just like, we're probably the most negatively positive bunch you will ever run into. And yes, I said that's exactly what I meant to say. Negatively positive bunch you will ever run into, because we've just had to figure shit out. But you know what? Same with my, okay, so Kelly, you have to, what do you mean by never? I have a feeling this is going to be a good one. But you know what? I will say this. The two people I'm talking about, the millennial and the boomer watching, two of my favorite people. I know they've been through a lot. And I would literally make them honorary Gen Xers. Seriously, make them honorary Gen Xers. I think a lot of people think that we've grown soft. And I think what we've grown into is learning that positivity isn't about trying to shoot rainbows in every direction, right? It's not about not realizing you don't have negative days. We're all going to have negative days. It happens. But being positive on a higher level is because we're trying to put something into the world that is missing. Because of this self-love lesson, what things make you feel bad, but you find yourself doing them anyway? People are opening up about their mental health, about their situations, whatever it is. Not everybody has a dinged up mental health, but still goes through pain and hurt and all this stuff, right? I call that the common people blues. When people have, when regular people have the blues versus those of us with a dinged up mental health. But I call it the common people blues, but they're still hard. Oh, yeah, sarcastic positivity. That's my favorite, right? That is my favorite, sarcastic positivity. But, you're killing me, Kelly. But anyways, yeah, I think that's just what it's really all about, right? Just hunkering down, finding a way out of that pain so that we do not do the things that make us feel bad. So I think lesson number 22 is 100% perfect. What things make you feel bad, but you find yourself doing them anyway? And then let's add the question at the end. Why? And I would say for myself and probably a lot of people, the why is simply because in the moment it makes us feel better. But remember, if you're hurting somebody or you're drinking or you're doing the drugs or you're doing the emotional eating thing, it's going to cycle back around. And once your head is clear, you're going to be like, shit, I just did that. And I did not mean to do it. And I swore I'd never do it again. I slip up from time to time and I become a hurt person that hurts people. And it's not like it used to be years ago where it was like I would just lash out and just be in tears and just having a total breakdown, mental breakdown. But it still happens from time to time. And when it happens, it's a lot of times I don't even see it coming. It just happens. And then it's like, oh my God, almost immediately, I'm so sorry. And I'm lucky that it is usually met with compassion, grace, and empathy on the other person's part. But they have to spend like 10 minutes trying to tell me, no, really, it's okay. I know, I get it, I understand. But that doesn't mean I feel any less bad because that's not the person I want to be anymore. That's not the person I am. And that's really not the person I've ever been. That is a whole separate entity, just not having a good moment and taking it out on somebody else. And you know what? We do that whether we have a dinged up health or not, mental health, whether we are hurt or not. Sometimes we might just be frustrated or have that just overwhelming feeling where we just go boom, So hurt people hurt wax. Yeah, definitely wax you upside the head. But it's a thing. It's a thing. So if you find yourself doing a lot of these things consistently, maybe it's time to stop, take a break, and just look back at what needs to be healed, what you can heal. Anything and everything can be healed. And that doesn't mean that, if you've suffered trauma from somebody when you were growing up, that doesn't mean you have to give them your time of day. Okay? Forgiveness isn't always about letting the other person off the hook. It's about letting you off the hook. Kelly and I are, She's my Gen Xer on here, but Kelly and I we're seeing eye to eye today. But anyways, like I said, I'm still kind of nervous from taking that week off and then coming back here and doing this. So, I mean, I'd hoped that my talks would be a little bit less all over the place, but I'm getting there. I think I'm just getting back into the swing of things. So anyways, think about that. All right. That's your lesson for today. What things make you feel bad, but you find yourself doing them anyway? Ask yourself why. And then to add on to that question, ask yourself, what can I do to change this? All right. And it's like Kelly said earlier, be so positive, the negative, deletes. You delete the negative. All right. It's not always that easy, but if you feel yourself getting tense, if you feel yourself winding up, just try to look around. In fact, they have the 5 things of anxiety. 5 things you can see, smell, touch, hear, and taste. Now, that doesn't mean you have to sit there and lick everything around you. What it means is, what around you can you taste? Well, maybe nothing, right? So water and a pack of gum that I have over here, but that's about it. Can't lick this. So, but 5 things I can see, 5 things I can smell, 5 things I can hear, 5 things I can touch. I've already touched like 5 things just while talking to everybody. Say Lola, the pens, the book, this pen, and the computer that's sitting in front of me. So there you go. So anyways, I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will be back here tomorrow. What time? See what I mean? I'm so out of this. Oh my God. Anyway, here we go. Tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I will see you all back here. Facebook Live, Self-Love Lesson number 23 is tomorrow. And it's a good one. And we'll do that card tomorrow because I think it'll go a lot better with this one. So anyways, again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. You can find it under Shelly Marie Lucas on Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch. I do upload it to YouTube if you want to watch the replay, and I do have a Facebook page, the Aloha Perspective, where I also share this too. Thank you, baby sibling, older sibling, and Kelly for being on today. Thank you, Kelly, for the interactions. Ooh, fist bump. So anyways, yeah, I miss you, girl. It's been a long time since we talked. So anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. And remember, if you feel yourself about to make a bad choice, take a moment, take a beat, okay? Count to 10, or just keep counting until that negative choice you want to make goes away. Even if you have to sit down for a few minutes and just, be calm, quiet, and do some deep breathing, okay? Because remember, once you do something, whether it's good or bad, you can't take it back. You may get compassion, you may get empathy, you may be forgiven for it, but it's still going to be in you, and it's still going to be something that just adds to whatever guilt you may be carrying around, unnecessary guilt or shame that you may be carrying around. All right? You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel ashamed. What you need to do is just find a way to heal that part of you that keeps, being the sponsor of these bad choices. All right? So again, have a great day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.